What is going on, FitFam? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through really quick, easy meals. These meals take as little as 5 minutes because none of us have got all day to be up in the kitchen. And the good news is you don't have to. You can make meals so quickly, so easily that still taste amazing, but is still guaranteeing that you're getting the right amount of fuel your body requires to decrease fat and gain muscle, aka get that sexy year-round goddess body that you're gonna keep with ease. So follow along with me. If you enjoy this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss any more good stuff coming your way. All right, let's get into this video. Hey there, FitFam. I just got back from the gym, so of course I am starving, and you already know what's going down. It's gonna be some Oats, aka protein oats. I never get tired of this. It's so quick and easy to make. It keeps me full for at least a good 4 hours, like really stable energy. So I'm gonna show you how I've been doing it recently. So right now I'm cooking it in a little pot. So I just put that on my scale, hit the tare button, and right now I'm doing 60 grams of oats, which is 3/4 cup. So I'm just gonna weigh that out. Okay, and then I'm gonna be using some soy milk, which is my favorite just because it has more protein than other milks, maybe other than cow's milk, but I don't drink cow's milk really. So you can use any type of milk, it doesn't matter, but I like soy for those extra gains from the protein. All right, so just gonna weigh out 200 grams of this, which is like 3/4 cup. Okay, and now what I do is I take my banana and I cut it up right here in my hands with the spoon, and I add it directly in. So like this, just making little slices. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and add in a little bit of peanut butter, about half of a tablespoon, which is like 7 grams. So just throw that in there. And yeah, we got exactly 7 grams. Okay, and then I just got some natural cacao powder here. Definitely try to find one that is natural because otherwise it's gonna be really processed. So I'm just gonna add in about 5 grams of this, which is a tablespoon. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it on the stove and let it cook for just about 5 minutes. It doesn't have to take very long. Oh, I almost forgot. I always put cinnamon in too because why not? Cinnamon is so nice. So throw some cinnamon in there as well. And just mix it all together. All right, put the lid on and let it cook. Okay, so the proats are done there, but now we just gotta put in the remaining ingredients. So of course, what actually makes these proats is that there's protein powder in it, protein oats. So you can obviously just make it regular oatmeal, but then it's not gonna have that much protein. So one of my favorite ways to be able to get my protein numbers up for the day is to obviously use a high quality supplement like a organic protein powder, and then just adding it right into the oatmeal. So I have 2 different protein powders at the moment. I have this massive one, which is a whey isolate protein powder, which means it is a derivative of cow's milk. And then I also have this one, which is Birdman, which is a Mexican protein powder company, and it's organic vegan protein. So I do use vegan protein powder sometimes. Obviously, I myself am not vegan, but you know, as long as it's protein, doesn't really matter to me. So I definitely really recommend this brand. It's definitely my favorite vegan protein powder that I've ever tried if you are somebody who's trying to get a plant-based protein powder. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add in the protein powder, and 1 serving of this is about 1.5 scoops or 38 grams. So I always just weigh it to make sure that I am indeed getting my 38 grams to make sure that I'm getting the full serving. Okay, and then another thing I add in is seeds. So I have a mix of chia seeds and flax seeds here. I don't do this for flavor because, I mean, it doesn't really have any flavor. I do it for the health benefits because seeds are super, super good for you, and they have health properties that you can't really get from other sources. So I just go ahead and I add in 5 grams, which is like a teaspoon. Okay, and then the last thing is adding in berries. So obviously, you know, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You can add in any fruit that you want. I just love banana, berries, protein powder, chocolate, seeds. I mean, who doesn't like that? It's such a good mix of flavors. So blackberries and raspberries are my favorite. So I'm gonna throw in, and I don't worry too much about these as far as like calories because berries are really low in calories. So I don't like say I have to have a certain amount. I just kind of throw them in. Okay, So now we're just gonna mix it all together. Okay, so there you go, final product. And again, maybe it doesn't look so pretty, but it tastes good and it's quick and easy, and that's what matters. So of course I made this in my pot on the stove and just let it cook for about 5 minutes, but if you do have a microwave, you can also just put it in a bowl and cook it in the microwave for about 5 minutes. And you also don't have to cook your oats. You can just put it together before you go to bed and then leave it in the fridge, and then you can eat it cold in the morning if you want, or you can heat up the overnight oats, doesn't really matter. Lots of different ways you can do it. And then I'm just gonna show you how I add it into my FitnessPal. So you saw, obviously, I was really precise with weighing all of the things, so it's gonna be easy for me to track everything to the gram. So there we go, this is about 600 calories, which is, you know, you might think is a lot, but remember, you need fuel. Food is your friend if you are going to get a fast metabolism, which is what is really burning calories 24/7. And of course, if you're gonna build muscle, which gives you a faster metabolism and also gives us the sexy aesthetics that we call being toned, which really just means being muscular. So lots of food, it's super good, super quick and easy, tasty, and then now I'm gonna be full for like 4 hours. So definitely give this a go. You can, you know, experiment however you want, whatever fruit you want, whatever milk, whatever additions like nut butters or seeds or whatever, and let me know how you find it in the comments below. All right, so now I'm gonna show you how I make the lunch that I have pretty much every single day because it's so quick and easy and I love it, which is just some scrambled eggs with avocado toast. So the first thing I do is I chop up some veggies. So I already got some diced up bell pepper there. And so I'm just gonna chop up some onions to go with it. Then I always spray my pan with either olive or coconut oil cooking spray. Remember, you always want to use one of those two, so it's a clean oil instead of using the regular pan one, which is hella processed and you don't want in your body. All right, so I'm just gonna throw these onto the pan, throw in some diced bell peppers. All right, and then I always just let the onions and the bell pepper saute just for like 2 minutes first, and then I add in the eggs so that it'll be more mixed in with the flavor. Okay, here I have a loaf of organic whole wheat bread with some seeds. So always try to get as natural and organic of a bread as you can, because we know that most breads, especially in the US and Canada, if you go into the store and you look at the ingredients list, it has like 30 ingredients, which is crazy because it really should just be water, yeast, and wheat, right? So always do your best to try to get one that is as natural as possible. And then I'm just gonna cut off 2 slices. So then what I do is I take my scale and then I just weigh out the bread that I cut. I usually try to go for about 100 grams. So this is 116 grams. So that's gonna be about, 100 grams is always gonna be about 2 good sized slices. And then again, since this is a natural bread that I bought from here, there isn't a barcode that I can just scan. So instead, what I'm gonna do is in my FitnessPal, I'm just gonna type in organic whole wheat bread. And I'm just gonna kind of take whatever one I can find that's gonna allow me to do a serving size in grams, because sometimes they only do 1 slice, but 1 slice doesn't tell you how much it actually is. So you gotta make sure that you find one that will let you track it in grams. So this one here, whole wheat bread, 365 organic. I'm gonna change the serving size to 1 gram, and I'm gonna put 115 grams for the bread. Okay, so the veggies are sizzling enough now, so I'm just gonna add in my 3 eggs. And I always just like to add a little bit of pink Himalayan salt on top. Okay, so those eggs are done. Okay, so then I'm just gonna show you how I weigh out the avocado that I add on top. So taking the whole plate, putting it on top of the scale, and then just taking the avocado and scooping it out like this. And I go for 30 grams total. And then just smush it onto the bread like that. Smush the avocado around. Okay, so there you go. That's the meal. Scrambled eggs with veggies. And obviously you don't have to just use the ones I use. You can use any one that you want. And then natural, organic, whole grain bread with some avocado on top. Super awesome, tasty 5-minute meal. All right, fam, freshly washed hair, and now it is time for dinner. And I'm gonna be making one of my all-time favorites that is so quick, easy, but tastes so good, and that is peanut sauce shrimp. All right, so I already got most of the ingredients ready to go, so it's going to be very quick and easy to put together. So here I have my de-thawed peeled shrimp. So they were frozen before. I buy in like a big bag of frozen peeled shrimp because I hate peeling it. It's just kind of gross, and it obviously takes a lot longer. I know maybe I'm a bit of a princess, but I just prefer buying it already peeled. And obviously if you can get it fresh, that's ideal, but getting it frozen and then just letting it de-thaw is not a big deal. And one thing that's so great about shrimp is obviously it's a completely lean protein and it cooks really fast and it tastes so good with like any sauce. So that's why I really like using it. So I got my pan set on top here and I'm just gonna pour my shrimp in, and I want it to be 200 grams of raw shrimp per serving, which is just about this because that's going to be enough protein to get the gains. Okay, so the first step in this whole cooking process would be if you didn't already have your starchy carb ready to go. Because you always want some kind of carb with your meal. So I already have a bunch of cooked brown rice that I've had for a few days now, because that's how I always prep my carbs, is I always just make a bunch all at once, so then it's ready to go and throw into a meal. So if you didn't have rice, obviously you could just take 1 cup of dry brown rice and add 2 cups of water, put it on the stove, let it come to a boil, and then once it's boiling, turn it down to a simmer, keeping the lid covered. Don't touch it, just let it cook, and it should be ready in about 20 to 30 minutes. And of course, you could also do this with a pasta, like a whole wheat pasta or chickpea or red lentil pasta if you don't eat gluten, or you could even serve it with potatoes. You can do whatever you want. But since I already have the cooked brown rice, I'm going to be adding in 150 grams of cooked rice. Okay, we got the 2 servings of cooked rice in there. Okay, so this is a peanut sauce recipe. So it's actually just 2 ingredients that I'm going to be using, which is natural peanut butter and honey. That's actually all you need to make the sauce. It tastes so freaking good. I love peanut sauce. But if you like it to be a little bit more salty, you can also use a soy sauce. I just don't have any, and sometimes soy sauce makes me feel a little bit lightheaded because it's really dehydrating. You also can use a little bit of oil if you want. Any oil is good as long as it's a clean oil, but sesame oil is my favorite because it gives it a nice Asian taste. So it's up to you, but I'm just gonna stick with this. I'm gonna be doing 2 tablespoons of natural peanut butter per serving and 1 tablespoon of honey. So I'm gonna measure that out onto the pan right now. Okay, so it's gonna be 30 grams of peanut butter per serving, and I got 2 servings in here. Okay, and now I'm gonna be doing 20 grams of honey per serving, which is 1 tablespoon. So it's gonna be 40 grams total. Okay, and now just gonna set it on the stove and let it cook over medium heat. Okay, and now for my veggie, I'm just gonna take this bell pepper and cut it up into thin slices. And I'm also gonna dice up 2 cloves of garlic and throw that in there for a little extra flavor. So remember, you want some kind of veggie in every meal. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's nice to get a whole kind of variety and get all the different colors for all the different health benefits. All right, throw on that garlic. And as always, I'm gonna add in a little pink Himalayan salt. But if you were using soy sauce, you wouldn't need that because obviously that would make it saute. This bell pepper and throw that on in there. All right, now with these nice thin strips, just gonna throw that on in and mix it all together, and then it's right about to be done. That only took like 10 minutes. All right, folks, there's the final product, and it is gonna be so yummy, so quick and easy. Enjoy it. All right, so just gonna quickly show you guys how I would log this meal in MyFitnessPal. All right, so that's everything. Because remember, you don't have to add in the garlic, you don't have to add in the bell pepper, just because it's so negligible, it doesn't really matter. But of course, you wanna make sure that a vegetable is still in your meal. You just don't have to track your non-starchy vegetables. So that's how it's done. All right, fam, thanks so much for checking out this video. I hope you found it helpful. I hope it gave you some really quick, easy, tasty meal ideas, and I'll see you in the next video.